Hello everyone, welcome to the finale of Full Grown Gaming's Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie. I really cannot believe that we made it here in, what, 13 episodes, I believe? But I guess, you know, it's kind of understandable when you're doing, 30, 40-minute episodes at some points. But anyway, yeah, if you guys didn't see the credit sequence that I uploaded yesterday, I uploaded it as a bonus episode, actually. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I uploaded it. Now, here we have the other pot, or the magic cauldron that links to the one in the Grunty's Furnace Fun. Why? I don't understand why they put that here when it literally orbs you, what, 100 feet? I don't know. Alright, is there anything else in here we can do? I don't think so. So, let's go ahead and open up this door here. Still not technically the last note door, to be quite honest with you. It's kind of hard to, believe that they would still be putting these note doors here at the end. And I like how they give you an extra, you can fill up your life here. And there's also a place where we can fill up our, feathers and eggs and all that stuff, but I'll get to that in a minute. If we come in here, we can actually see, if we go ahead and take out this guy, this is the room at the beginning of the game where Grunty put Tooty, in the machines or whatever. I forgot which one was put in which machine here, but, see, that's what I was talking about in the last episode. Why didn't she just go ahead and pull the lever, and the whole game would have been over? But, I don't know. She was saving Tooty for the end game, I guess. Unfortunately, you can't go in these doors here. I kind of wish you could, because that might be kind of cool, Might be something in there that might, be kind of cool. Now, over here, we have another, painting or picture here that we can put big jigsaw pieces into, jiggies. And here, it's the final one, really, that opens up a level. And it takes 25. I think I accidentally said it took 20 in the last episode, but it actually takes 25. So you can see that to get to the last boss, Grunty, you have to get, what, 94 jiggies if my math is right? So that is why, it might be kind of hard for new people or young kids to get to the final boss. Here we have another note door. Here are the note doors that you really need the notes for. Like, these are the hardest note doors to open. And what happens when you open them? And this is Ding Pot, by the way. This was the pot that Grunty was talking into or looking into at the beginning of the game when basically this pot told her that Tooty was the most beautiful one of all or whatever. And he's actually kind of going to help us in a minute, but I do need to open up these other doors. Yeah, see, Ding Pot doesn't even like Grunty anymore, and apparently, the same thing happens. I don't mean to be, have a spoiler. Actually, you know what, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that because that would spoil Banjo-Tooie as well, but the same kind of thing happens in Banjo-Tooie, and if you guys followed this Let's Play from the beginning, you might know who I'm talking about. Alright, now that we're done with that, we can go open these other doors. But yeah, like I said, these just open up these items you can get, like the red feather, gold feather here. All they do is just refill your feathers, and if we had put in the Cheeto codes to double our capacity, it would have filled the eggs and feathers up to the maximum capacity. So like if we had put the blue eggs code in, we would have 200 eggs right now, but I didn't feel like doing that, so... And we don't really need 200 eggs and 20 gold feathers and all that, so... This right here is definitely the hardest note door to open. I think it's an 882 or something like that. And in here we have yet another picture, the final picture in the game. I know I said the Grunty one was the last one, but this one is technically the last one. If we fill it in, it gives you like a honeycomb picture. And it will double your life. So pretty much, I think there's 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, okay, 8. And then it gives you like a hit. Basically, if you see it's red right now, if you get hit once, one of them will turn gold, and then basically if you get hit 8 times, it'll just be like the regular life bar. So basically what it does is just double your life bar. The same kind of thing happens in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, with the extra hearts, or not extra hearts, but like the protected heart thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in here. Ding Pot is going... Did I tell you she puked in me? It was awful. That's pretty disgusting, Ding Pot. I don't think I needed to know that. But if we jump in here, he'll shoot us all the way up here. And Grunty, I can't believe that furry pair got right up here. It's so unfair. But now the stupid bear must fight. This battle tests your skill and might. And it does, because obviously this is really the only boss fight in the game, like true boss fight that I can think of. And there might have been a couple other ones that, were sort of, like, I remember talking about one, it was like a puzzle boss fight or something like that, but I can't remember what that was now that I think about it. But yeah, obviously this is like the de facto boss fight in Banjo-Kazooie. And there's stages in the fight. The first stage, she'll rush at you like this, with her broom. Obviously, you can see that. But eventually she'll stop, like it'll break down. Usually after 3, like she just did 3, so on this one it'll probably break down. Yep, see, it'll break down like that. I like how her broom is breaking down. But yeah, then at that point you can shoot the, you know, eggs at her. Also, oh man, oh no, get off! See, that move right there, you can't dodge. So it's kind of a good idea to use the gold feathers to, you know, protect yourself from it. Since you can't dodge it, it's gonna hit you. You might as well just use the gold feathers to make it not hurt you. But the thing is, like, when you're in the Talon Trot mode, it's kind of hard to, I mean, it's impossible, actually, to, you know, use the gold, what am I trying to say here? If you're in this mode right here, you can't go straight into the gold feathers mode. You gotta get out of it, and then use the gold feathers. Alright, now this one, obviously, this one's a little bit easier, I would say. Well, it's not too much easier, it's not like the first one was hard or anything. But she will, you know, stand out there, you gotta, or she'll hover out there, and you've gotta stand up on these things and shoot eggs at her. So pretty easy. And what I was gonna say, like I forgot actually for the first part, was that she will, sometimes you can actually hit her while she's zooming by, and if you want to save time, like for a speed run, that's what some people would do, is, you know, she'll be like flying by, you can hit her while she's in the air. It's pretty cool, but not something I can do, you know, per se. I think for each, like, she'll go to each sector of the castle, like, I don't know, there's no directions, or you can't tell directions, obviously, but she'll go to each of the 4 directions on the castle here, and I think you gotta hit her 3 or 5 times, you know, for every direction that she's in, so this should be taking care of her right now. Yep, I knew it. Alright, so you watch this. Doesn't do anything. That is basically the easiest way to take care of that, and as far as I know, life does not disappear in Banjo-Kazooie. I think it does in Banjo-Tooie, though. If you just leave it there, it'll be there when you come back. Like, if you know, there's not really, see, like, my life is almost full. Not really any reason to pick it up right now. This part right here is probably the one part of the boss fight that everybody has trouble with, because she'll fly around. This is like an aerial fight, really, and you've got to fly around and use that beak bomb attack on her. And it's kind of hard to line up. Like, I can't even get into a position to hit her. See, like, I'm too low right now, I better get up. And one thing that really is not a good thing is if you're up here and you're kind of like on a downward trajectory. Uh-oh. Oh, I got her. If you're on like a sort of a downward trajectory and you use that beak bomb attack and you hit the floor of the castle, or actually the roof, I guess in this case, you will slide sometimes. Whoop, I missed. But sometimes you'll hit the floor, slide, and you'll slide right off. Or if you just happen to be over the edge, you'll just beak bomb right down into oblivion and it'll be over. So be careful when you're using the beak bombs on her, because it's probably, like I said, the easiest way to die is in this part right here. See, like like that. Maybe if I didn't have enough feathers to get back up to the height, I would be completely screwed. Or if I had been a little bit closer to the ground when I tried that, I just would have gone straight down. There we go. Is that 3? Yeah, 3. I'm not sure how many it takes, like, per, you know, segment of the fight, but obviously it's not 3. I'm running kind of low on red feathers here. And you probably don't want to be willy-nilly doing the beak bomb like I am. Alright, let's get this lined up. It's probably 4 or 5. I would guess 4, actually, at this point. How did that not hit me? How? Oh my god! My hair just like stood up on it. That is what I'm talking about. That's what'll happen if you are not careful when you do this. Oh, and if you hit her, I don't think, like, if you fly into her, I don't think it actually hurts you. I think it'll just, oh, sit down. I think it'll just like make you bounce off of her. I don't think it actually hurts you though. And there we go. That's 5. Look at me. I'm quite a mess. I need a shield to hide my what? How does a shield? It's an. So it's, what am I even trying to say? It's not like, you know, the shield is see-through. How's it gonna hide your dress? I don't know. Anyway, if you land, these Jinjos will come out of the ground. And useless Jinjos, they're not really useless because you can't beat the fight without them. I think it's kind of cool how they gave the Jinjos a bigger kind of role in the final boss fight. There we go. If you shoot 3, you know, eggs into each of the porthole things on the front, they'll fly around and fly right into Grunty, so that's kind of cool. But there are 4 Jinjos that you can see here. I just want her to, yeah, what you kind of want to do is wait for her to use that attack. Okay, well, apparently my advice is not useful at all. What I was going to say was you wait for her to use the attack, and then, you know, shoot the eggs into it, because if you're trying to shoot the eggs into it, and, wow, and she shoots that thing at you, you know, it's kind of a waste of time. Alright. Apparently you gotta get, like, right in front of it. Let me go ahead and get some life here. See, that's why I just leave it here. And there we go. Man, that was a lot easier than I remember, but there is still one final part of the fight here. How is that hitting me? Man. There we go. So we took care of her, or did we? It looks like the shield is back. I can't believe I couldn't think of the word see-through or clear or whatever when I was talking about that earlier. But now if we... Man, she is going crazy. We can't hurt her, obviously, because she's got that shield up. But eventually a familiar... Not really a familiar face, but, you know, sort of. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Any day? There we go. I'm the mighty Ginginator. Activate me. This is probably my favorite part of the game, just because it's a huge Jinjo. Like, that is awesome. And you gotta shoot, I'm not sure how many into each one of these things right here, but I guess it's like 3 or 5, just like all the other ones. But you've gotta shoot the... Oh no. There we go. You gotta shoot eggs into all of the holes on the side, and I find the ones on the side and the back to be the easiest ones, obviously, because they're kind of out of the direct path of Grunty. But since we have so much extra health, I'm just gonna take a beating here, and there we go. Nice big blue Jinjo. Oh man, with red eyes, and all the other Jinjos are flying around him too. This is gonna be awesome, guys. Watch what happens to Grunty right here. Come on, Ginginator, knock her off! See, as a kid, I thought there was going to be like an extra part of the fight here, but, you know, this is going to be the end of the fight, obviously. And I just thought it was so awesome how he keeps going back and forth. You know, Grunty knows she is done for right now. One more final... Did you hear the Jinjo talking there? Yeah, she just barely topples over the edge. Can she not fly? I guess not. And that part right there, that green spell that got thrown there, I'm not sure if this is true, but I've read that that thing was supposed to actually hit you, and then something was supposed to happen with Tooty, like you were supposed to use Tooty, because Banjo and Kazooie would be like incapacitated in some fashion, but I've heard that they took that out of the game by the final cut, so I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I've heard. Now, as you can see, Grunty falls straight, you know, Three Stooges style into the floor, leaves like a perfect body imprint, and then a huge rock falls on top of her. This is her fate for the next 2 years, I believe, is the amount of time between Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. And in Banjo-Tooie, that little part, she's still there at the beginning of the game. And that's really the beginning of Banjo-Tooie, because she obviously gets out of the rock. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, obviously, you guys know there's going to be a sequel. Here, obviously, well, we beat Grunty, so I guess we get to relax a little bit. Bottle's eating some watermelons, Banjo-Kazooie, you know, sipping some stuff. If you look back there, there's a girl there. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. You know, why is Captain Blubber here? And the Ski 1000? Where is this? I wonder where this island even is, you know? Also, if you guys remember that Banjo-Kazooie Rated E video I was talking about, that girl with the watermelons is definitely part of that video, because that is so suggestive that they would put that in the game. I mean, it was obviously done on purpose. But now we are the heroes of the game. We have beaten Grunty. There's absolutely nothing else we can do except for those bottles, pictures, and stuff that I will do in a bonus episode. And I might want to do a bonus episode on the cheats that you can put in on in the Sandcastle and Treasure Trove Cove. And also, by the way, if you guys didn't, I don't know how you could go through the game without knowing that there were mystery eggs in the game. But regardless, we get another nice, you know, credit sequence here with a couple extra characters. But if you hadn't ever seen, regardless of if you've seen the mystery eggs or not, at the end of the game here, they will show you the mystery eggs so you can go get them and stuff. And it was more of a surprise, maybe, I guess you could say, in the in the original Nintendo 64 version, because let me just go ahead and give you guys the story of Stop and Swap. Basically, when they made Banjo-Kazooie, they implemented the Stop and Swap eggs and iced tea, which were supposed to be used in Banjo-Tooie, and the function, or the mechanism for that was you're supposed to basically get them in this game, hot swap the games, which means like you play Banjo-Kazooie, I guess load up the save file, which is what you would have done, leave the system on the Nintendo 64, take out Banjo-Kazooie, put in Banjo-Tooie, and the information from Banjo-Kazooie would still be loaded in maybe the Nintendo 64 RAM or something like that. And Banjo-Tooie would recognize that you had collected the eggs and the ice key and all that kind of stuff. But for whatever reason, Nintendo changed the amount of time that I think that the Nintendo 64 would store information in RAM when there was nothing in the cartridge slot or something like that. Basically, it just wasn't feasible. You would have to switch out the cartridge in like 1 or 2 seconds, which apparently they didn't think was enough time. Kids of those days definitely had better reflexes. I think we could have done it. Anyway, I guess that's my bitterness over the stop and swap mystery not being solved until the Xbox 10 years later coming out. But yeah, that's how that was supposed to work. You were supposed to be able to unlock stuff in, you know, Banjo-Tooie like that. But it didn't work, so Rareware, you know, when we do Banjo-Tooie, I'll show you what they did. I'm not sure if they even left it in Banjo-Tooie, like from the original. What they did for Banjo-Tooie to alleviate the problem was they put in these Nintendo 64 cartridges hopping around everywhere, and once you beat a couple of them, they would give you an egg, and you could find the ice key in a completely different spot on the hub world of Banjo-Tooie, and it just wasn't a good, you know, satisfactory, what is the word? I don't know. It wasn't satisfactorily done, I guess you could say, because you could tell that it was just rushed in there. There was no polish to it. It had nothing, no relation to Banjo-Kazooie at all, so luckily they did fix it, you know, for Banjo-Kazooie, or the Xbox releases of Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, and well, they also put functionality into, you know, use the eggs in Nuts and Bolts as well. And I can almost, with 100% certainty, say that I will never play Nuts and Bolts again. I got that in, what, 2008 or whatever when it came out? Beat it, never played it again. Like, I could play Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie forever, you know, until I die, probably. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is probably the most, like, the biggest letdown I can ever think of. The only other one that I can really think of that was as big of a letdown as that is Super Paper Mario, now that I think about it. Hopefully I'm not rubbing hurting anybody's feelings by talking about Super Paper Mario, because it was a good game, but not a Paper Mario game. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was a good game, but not a Banjo-Kazooie game. But anyway, don't mean to ramble about that. Let me go into the classic review section, I guess, of the, you know, full-grown Let's Plays. Usually what we do here is at the end of the Let's Play, during the credits or whatever, we will discuss the merits of the game, where it could have been improved, where it was good, and all that. The game, the graphics, even on the Nintendo 64 version, it had some pretty good graphics for the day. I thought the graphics were better than, for instance, Super Mario 64, and that's also another comparison that needs to be made, is the comparison between Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. People will say that Banjo-Kazooie was like a rip-off sometimes of Super Mario 64. Even if it is, I still think Banjo-Kazooie is better than Super Mario 64 in pretty much every way. The only thing Super Mario 64 has over it is really, I mean, it kind of created the 3D platformer sort of on the consoles, you know, but Banjo-Kazooie took that and took it to a whole new level. So that's what I have to say about that. Graphics, really good, even on the Nintendo 64. Even on the Xbox, like, they did make them better, and I think they look really good. Even though it's a Nintendo 64 game, just the art direction of the game is really good. Now, what else? Plot, I mean, it's just a classic, you know, kidnapping, I mean, kind of like a Mario game, that we have to go throughout a castle, lair, and save, you know, a person. So, the plot, while it's not strong, really, and it's not like I was like, man, I really want to save Tootie, or I really want to take out Gruntilda. I mean, it gave the game a sense of, you know, coherence, so it did function there. Well, we're back to the island, by the way. And this is where, by the way, Mumbo is going to be telling us about the stop and swap eggs and stuff. He has those pictures right there. But anyway, yeah, so sound, by the way, is top-notch. I love the sound in this game. Grant Kirkhope, up there with, you know, Omatsu for Final Fantasy VII in my book, just because the tunes from Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, maybe it's just nostalgia speaking, but I really like those tunes. And what else do we have? I can't even think of anything else. There's a multiplayer mode in Banjo-Tooie, but obviously can't really talk about that here. But anyway, I'm not sure if I haven't really been reading the screen, but they will mention Banjo-Tooie here, and Kazooie's like, oh, am I going to be in it? So, the cool thing about beating the game is that you knew that there was going to be a Banjo-Tooie. You know, just because the game told you there was going to be a Banjo-Tooie. But not, you know, that's not necessarily a shoe-in, because at the end of Banjo-Tooie, oh my goodness, did that just say Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts? Well, that just ruins my nostalgic moment there. But anyway, at the end of Banjo-Tooie, it talks about Banjo 3E, which never came out, so I guess, guys, I'm just gonna I don't really have anything else to say. All that's left, really, is there is more, you know, pictures to, you know, go over with the stop and swap eggs and stuff like that. Just a little more dialogue between Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts make Banjo-Kazooie look like joke. Yes! That's right! It did make it look like a joke. That is completely true, Mumbo. I can't believe they put that in there. But anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for watching this Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie for the... I'm just going to say for the Nintendo 64. That's where it was made. That is its home. And that is where I wish, you know, Rare was still with Nintendo. But anyway, for the final time in this Let's Play, I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, and I hope you guys tune in for whatever Let's Play I come up with next. Game over? Are you kidding me, Rare? Anyway, guys, if you've stuck around this long, you are truly a fan of full-grown gaming, and I have to thank you for watching literally until the very end of the game here. Not really too much I can do. I mean, really, they just put you back out to the main menu. Like I said, there are going to be bonus episodes, though, for the bottles pictures in Banjo's house that we need to do, and there's also, I kind of want to go over, like, a list of cheats, maybe, that you can put in, so... Other than that, guys, for the final time, I know I've done this like 3 times already in this episode, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.